Garrison Hayes, who interviewed me a while back for Mother Jones and did some
Mm-hmm.
research around using my book, The Grift, The Downward Spiral of Black Republicans from the Party of Lincoln to the Cult of Trump. He's been doing some work around Black Republicans, and he did an interview with Michaela Montgomery.
Oh my God.
She, in my opinion, is one of these folks on the rise. You know, I break the likes of her down in
The
the
rise
last
is a strong
chapter.
word. She's one of the
Rise is a
people who
very
is
strong
getting
word.
attention.
She's getting attention. She's trying to do her Stacey Dash, Omarosa,
Yeah,
Candace Owens, you
exactly.
know.
Yeah.
And each time in my opinion, the performance gets more foolish,
Yeah, it does.
more
Yeah.
ridiculous, more
Yeah.
over the top. And
Mm-hmm.
then what essentially happens is that they churn on you and you want to come back and go on the apology tour or insert yourself back in black media. It never fails. It's really the script, the blueprint
Mm-hmm.
of what I
Mm-hmm.
lay out in the book, especially folks who don't become elected officials.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah. Yeah.
become these kind of these black Republican influencers, right? So here she is talking to Garrison Hayes on a podcast on what her red line would be with Trump. Listen to this.
And so I think about like Colin Powell, rest in peace, how he left the party after January 6th, after the January 6th insurrection. That was just kind of beyond the pale for him. Is there a red line for you? Like maybe you don't know what it is yet, but what is it, and how will you know if he ever crosses that red line?
Um, the red line, like he would literally have to call me and like it would have
You specifically.
it would have to, like, yes, me specifically, because as a black person, Garrison, you know that there's black people and then there's, and even black
I don't
people
know
don't
that.
want to be around. So Trump would literally have to be like, stupid. That's the only way. I'd be like, dang, man. No way, not you too.
Jesus. My God. It's
He said you specifically, like just be clear.
right. Right,
You could call
exactly.
other people that, but as long as it ain't
But not,
you.
yeah. Yeah. Because it's all about them. It's all about the
Yeah.
individual. And you know what, Michaela? I believe if Donald Trump even calls you that, I don't even think it will bother you.
Yeah. He
I
probably,
think you'd
yeah,
be
she
okay
probably
with
will
it.
call herself that.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think you'd be okay with it. I don't believe that's your red line. I don't believe that's your red line at all. And I think about in the book, one of my favorite quotes in the grift is Frederick Douglass saying in 1890, talking about Isaiah Montgomery, others will be dazzled by fame and
Mm.
imitate their bad example.
Yeah.
I mean, how shameful is it for you to say that weeks
Mm-mm-mm.
before an election? It just goes to show what I've always said, Reese. They don't care about policy.
No,
They
no,
don't
no.
care about history. They don't care about the American people. They're
Mm-mm.
just up there tap dancing until their heels bleed to get attention. And it's so disgusting. It's so bottom of the barrel. It's
Yeah.
just awful. Absolutely awful. And coupled and the buffoonery gets so high that it's also a wild distraction because Donald Trump's policies are terrible. Wanting to
Yeah.
end overtime pay,
Mm-hmm.
wanting to end the Department of Justice. We're about to have Demario on this show in the next hour who's talking
Mm-hmm.
about his work around Greenwood. The DOJ is now looking into this. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
these are actual policies that would
Mm-hmm.
wanting to end the Affordable Care Act, gutting the Voting Rights Act. These
Department of
really
Education wanting to eradicate
Department of
that.
Education, the
Mm-hmm.
majority of black people, the majority of black children are in public schools,
Police
literally with an
indemnity.
right. And literally with an administration that's suing black women organizations. So I think it's funny that your red line is the N word, but what you don't realize that in policy, the N word's being used consistently.
Okay. That part.
Others will be dazzled by fame and imitate their bad example. That's just, wow.
Well, she'll be on the Breakfast Club next.
Yeah.
If she hasn't
Next
already been
year.
on there.
Yeah. And watch because the funny thing is too, Reese, their red line is different. You see what happened to Omarosa. You see what happened to Candace Owens. Remember when Diamond and Silk, one of them got let go from Fox News or whatever there was, a let go or moved on or whatever, and they were talking about racism. And I know one of them passed away, rest in power. But their red line is different. When they get tired of you, when they're sick of you, maybe you're being accused of being anti-Semitic because maybe you are, whatever the case may be. You're gonna learn though. When the leopards eat your face, you're gonna learn.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Reese Colbert.
It's just unserious. I mean, it speaks for itself. The buffoonery, the clownery, the lack of substance. This is not a person who's about the community. It's not a red line about how your community is being treated. It's a red line about this person personally saying to you, you N-word you. That's unhinged. That's unhinged, unserious behavior. She ain't, I mean, it's hard for me to even muster up much for her because there's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's not even anything to rebut. She's not making any substantive argument about it. I've never heard her make a substantive argument about anything. And that's the thing with these Republicans, grifters, is they don't have anything but just inflammatory stories, disinformation, and stupidity to offer. I mean, I was on a call. I did a show. I don't know when it's going or how, child, it was a mess. And it was with, I'm not even going to name the people, but it was like semi-prominent, I guess if you call it that, Black Republican grifters, like online. And I mean, it's, I had to make a decision in the call. You know what? I'm going to run my race and I'm going to try to reach the people that are reachable from what I have to offer, because you can get sucked into them going back and forth, but you cannot win a debate where the other person just lies through their teeth, where they're living in an alternate reality. And
That
then
should
here
be
you are.
disqualifying.
Yeah. And so it's like, the only thing I can do, and this is what I did in that situation, I communicated to the audience that we have different people that we're trying to reach. And so that the group can self-select into my group of the people, which is, and I said, if you are a person who's interested in facts, who's interested in receipts, who's interested in policy, then you're the person that I'm trying to talk to. If you want to just traffic in disinformation, or you want to believe all these inflammatory things that are not true, that's okay. You all right. I don't even worry about anything I have to say. And so, like, with her, she just has nothing. And I don't even know how you even like respond for what. She's not anybody who's gonna move the needle. If you're swayed by that, that's okay. Then I'm too intelligent to even try. I mean, what I'm gonna say, you're gonna be like, oh, that bougie bitch, Democratic Shield, da, da, da. You're not even gonna be interested in what I say. And that's okay. And I'm not interested in trying to convert you. I'm gonna move on. It's 80 other million people that I can reach. So if you wanted the dumbasses that's dazzled by that,
By the fame.
that's okay. We're not, I think that's one thing we have to accept. We're not always talking to the same people, and that's okay.
Yeah.
We're not always gonna reach the person that they reach, and that's okay. And keep it moving and focus our energies elsewhere. But it's embarrassing. I will be embarrassed to say that. To sit up there and be a voice that's being amplified for the first time. Now, she started from being the motherfucking goofy ass bitch in goddamn Chick-fil-A. Okay, that stage shit. You know, he's staging shit in Chick-fil-A, staging shit in McDonald's. That's where she started. Actually, as though she was some kind of fake, spontaneous customer. She was hugging him and shit and being all extra, doing a whole performance, and then it came out that she's a Republican organizer. That's what catapulted her into any kind of conversation. Wouldn't even be talking about her motherfucking ass if it weren't for her pretending to be a customer in Chick-fil-A. So that's what she got going on. It's gonna be very fleeting, girl. That's fine. You don't have anything to offer to the conversation. Goodbye. At least other people, and I won't name them, they can talk some semblance of policy. They can talk some semblance of intelligence, whether you agree with them or not. But people like that, they just don't have nothing to offer at all.